All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to the conclusion step. And congratulations here. You are pretty much on the final step of the paper. We're going to do a couple of more things where we kind of polish things up and format it and slap on something called a works cited page. But this essentially is the last piece of content that's kind of the big that you'll be writing. And I'm going to be honest with you. Conclusions, at least in my opinion, are the most difficult piece of the paper to write. And as a writer myself, the conclusion is always something that I've personally struggled with because, much like everything that I'm teaching you, there isn't exactly one right or wrong way to do it. So, with that said, the way that I'm teaching you here I think is a very effective way of doing it. There are other options out there, however, but please just play along with me here because in my career writing as a student and as a professional and as a teacher and you name it, I've had really good luck with the method that I'm showing you. Okay, so I am gonna give you a second here to go ahead and pull this down into your Notability, the conclusion step. So go ahead and hit the pause key while you do that. Alrighty, so you should have this downloaded into your Notability right now. And it looks just like this. And I'm actually going to flip over to my paper real quick here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our introduction here that we just worked on in our previous step. You've grabbed my attention up here, you've connected, you've explained why your issue is worth talking about. And you've ended your introduction with your thesis statement that previews the organization of your paper. Okay. Then I have all three of your body paragraphs in the eyes here match the order that your points come in your introduction and your thesis. And then you have your paragraphs. And for demonstration purposes, I have my one body paragraph. We're going to pretend that there's a two body paragraph and a three body paragraph too. And then we have my conclusion here. So I'm going to hop back to this. And again, treating this as a checklist, the first thing you're going to want to make sure you do is indent. And let me double check and let's see. Yep, I indented right there. Perfect. Whew, I'm good. Okay. Second thing that you're going to do is signal that your paper is ending. And ladies and gentlemen, please, please, please do not start your conclusion with in conclusion, comma. That is a very, very amateur way of ending a paper. It's something you learned when you were younger in your lives, and it served its purpose at the time. And those teachers, I'm not saying were wrong or anything like that, but we're upping the stakes a little bit. We're teaching you something a little bit more advanced, okay? So essentially what you're going to do is signal that your paper is ending and you are not going to say in conclusion. And the trick I'm going to teach you is you restate your thesis, okay? You restate your thesis and essentially what you're going to do is you're going to remind the reader of all those big supporting arguments that you said. Okay, that's a really nice way, particularly when you're trying to persuade somebody about something, to kind of remind them of all that ground that you treaded earlier. Okay, but there's a little bit of a catch. Okay, we're going to do it in what I like to call in reverse. And this is a little bit confusing, so allow me to explain. Okay, in your introduction, you introduced your thesis by saying your claim and then your three supporting arguments. So, for example, this right here, folks, is my claim, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in this magenta color. And these are my three supporting arguments. Okay, so I did claim first, and then I did my three supporting arguments. So homework should be abolished, claim, because it disrupts family time, B and C. What we're going to do in your thesis, in your conclusion thesis statement, is we are going to flip the supporting arguments and the claim this time. So we're going to say our supporting arguments first, and then we're going to say our claim. Okay? You don't want to just copy and paste it because that's redundant is the word. It means it's repetitive. That means it's a little bit more boring. Now, you're still going to want to state your ideas in the order they came in your body paragraphs. This is going to be body paragraph A. This blank is going to be body paragraph C. In this blank, B, I'm sorry, and this blank is going to be body paragraph C. But you're simply going to flip your supporting arguments in your claim. So it's going to look just like this. Disrupting family time, blank in blank, are all reasons why homework should be abolished. Okay, so in this case, then, we have these three things are our supporting arguments. Let's go ahead and put those in blue. And this is my claim in magenta. And this is in reverse of what we have up top. But again, this is still the order that my paper came in. And I hope that makes sense. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. And then we're going to go ahead and click X here. Okay, we're done. We did that. We didn't say in conclusion. Okay, and as this states right here, ladies and gentlemen, your thesis statement is always, always, always the first sentence of your conclusion. It's the last sentence of your introduction and always, always, always the first sentence of your conclusion. Flipping things around like we did here. Okay, and as this says, there's all these stars there, folks. I don't want to see any of this. Okay, as I say right here, it is extremely lame. Wah, wah. You don't want that right there. Okay, that's the easy part. This is where things get tough. You need to kind of close out your paper by asking, so what? Essentially, what you're doing is you are leaving the paper in the reader's hands and you are making them think, why did all of this matter? You need to close out your paper by discussing why you think it was important for people to think a certain way, your way, about your topic. And if you get stuck, okay, there are three questions right here that I want you to consider. And when in doubt, if you give a sentence or two to all three of these questions, I'm fairly confident that your conclusion is going to be okay. So question number one, why does your issue matter? Be specific. Question two, what's the bigger importance of your issue? And three, what consequences might there be if people don't think about your topic in the way you're trying to persuade them to? Okay, so let me show you how this might look in practice here. I say disrupting family time. Idea B and idea C are all reasons why homework should be abolished. And notice how the verb form here, I changed it to ing at the end, and you might have to do that because up here we say because it disrupts family time, blank and blank. But when we go down here, when you're leading with the supporting ideas, you kind of have to change those verb forms a little bit. So here I have disrupting family time, stressing students out, and increasing students' depression, whatever, okay, are all reasons why homework should be abolished. Then I could go on. I could say this issue matters because, and I would have to think about this right here, okay? Why do I think this issue matters? And what I want you to understand is in your conclusion, you're not giving me any more huge ideas, okay? You're not giving me any like new supporting ideas because you should have done that in your body paragraphs, okay? You're kind of asking yourself, what did all this add up to, okay? This issue matters because blank. Why does it matter, okay? Also, this issue is important to talk about because blank. Okay, think about that. That's what this means. What's the bigger importance of this issue? Why is it an important thing for everybody to be talking about, whether it be homework or bullying, some of you are doing, or carrying concealed weapons, some of you are doing, or school shootings, some of you guys are doing, or animal cruelty, some of you guys are doing, all these topics, right? Why are these important issues to be talking about? And I want you to think about that. You can do that here, okay? And then think about like a cause and effect thing. If your issue doesn't take the turn you're trying to persuade me, what's the problem, okay? Homework absolutely needs to be abolished. Look at how I'm reminding us. I'm kind of like hitting the final nail in here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm driving that home. If homework is not abolished, then blank. If teachers and staff are allowed to carry concealed weapons, then blank. Okay? If animals are used for entertainment or gambling purposes, then blank. Okay? What would be the consequences if uh, people did not share your perspective by the end of this paper? Because remember, your end goal is to persuade them. And we are looking at about 7-ish sentences, 7 to 10 sentences to really drive your point home. I have this template here for your convenience. And again, when in doubt, if you are stuck with this so what question, why does all of this matter? Give a sentence or two to each one of these questions, and that should get you going. Um, I hope that helped when you get to this step. If you are still stuck, please reach out to me on Schoology or during class, and I'm happy to help you however I can. Thank you for listening.